All right, how is everyone doing? Welcome to episode 6. Today's the last episode of us building a brand new agency from scratch. Today we're going to be going over the sales presentation. I personally, just a quick FYI, I personally don't use sales presentations when I do these calls, no matter what offer I sell. I've just found from experience, at least for me, having like a good conversation, building rapport and speaking with the client directly has been one of the best ways for me to just build that trust and close deals. I will sometimes share my screen and show them, something specific that we're talking about. So if someone in our case, let's say, they tell me, Oliver, like, how does this SMS bot work? I would share my screen and just show them live, like a live preview, and just have a conversation in front of them. It comes off as like me not preparing this fancy like PowerPoint presentation and trying to curate all of my content to only show them the best things. So again, just from experience, how I close, I understand not everyone's like me, so we will still make a sales presentation. And if I were to use a presentation, I would probably start off with this, and then as I'm going through it, I would share my screen and show other parts of my screen or tools and softwares that we're going to be using. But yeah. Quick recap. So we obviously created our one pager, so we know exactly who we're going to go after. So we're going after window installation companies making at least 20K a month, and we're going to help them make an additional 20 to 50K a month using AI as well as online advertisement to help them scale. We created the landing page. So very simple, nothing too complex, where we're going to run ads to this page, where we're going to capture our lead profile, so the type of companies that we want to work with, which is window installation companies. So we're going to call them out. Discovery can add an extra 20 to 50K a month using our AI window system. So we're using some fancy term just to get them curious and interested. We collect their information. From there, we can email them, SMS them, get in contact with them, which we built also on the previous episode. So what are the emails we're going to be sending out? We also created the ads last episode. So this is what's going to get them in the door and interested. As you can see, we tested a bunch of stuff. I gave some good insight on how exactly I would approach this over the course of a couple of months of me running these ads. So again, testing a bunch of stuff. That's mostly what we're going to be doing. Okay, so a bunch of variations. I would run them. From there, these ads would lead to them booking a call with me. And then once they hop on a call, this is the presentation that they would see on that first call with me. Okay, so I'm going to use Lucid Charts, so I'm not going to make it complicated. And we're going to use sort of what we built out. I think it was on the second episode where we laid out our service delivery. So if I open this up, obviously this was for us. It's not clean. It's a bit all over the place, but this is more or less what we're going to be using. Okay. So again, we're going to get them to their initial situation and their end goal. Let's say they're making 20K a month and they want to make $1 million a year. So about 80K a month. How are we going to get them to that point? So as we mentioned, there's 3 main pillars or objectives that we're going to try to work towards to get them to this goal. Okay, so first is lead generation, and this is what I'm going to do. And if you guys see me looking on the side, it's because I took some notes already just to be well prepared for this video. So pillar 1, we're going to call this lead generation. And again, you could spend the time to make a fancy PowerPoint and all of this stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It obviously does because multiple people do it. It's just for me personally, that's not how I operate, or it's not how I close. Okay, let's make this nice. Then I'm going to delete this to make sure it's the same size. And if you guys are wondering, this is called Lucid Charts in the software. There's others. You can use like a Miro chart as well. It's the same thing. Nothing's different. So pillar 2. And I like this like format of like step 1 or pillar 1, pillar 2, because it kind of shows them a roadmap of like, these are the 3 steps that we're going to complete together. And it kind of gives them like a vision or a path of like what this journey is going to look like, or at least how we can get them to a point where they are making more money. Then we have appointment setting. Again, I'm going to extend this just to make it a bit cleaner. And then the last step is going to be conversion, or let's call it sales. Sales. Cool. I don't think this is equal. Why is this not working? There you go. There you go. Equal. Perfect. Okay. Very good. And now we're going to expand under each of these and kind of go a bit more in depth on how exactly it works. So I would like to have like 3 steps under each of them. And we'll use this as a baseline. And then from there we can find, like, just if there's a way we can make it a bit cleaner. So obviously pillar 1, lead generation, we're going to capture the leads. So we're going to have them first fill out onboarding form. I'm actually going to write this onboarding form. Once we have that form, so we're gonna. The reason why I like to add this, it's because showing them how like simple or easy this process is gonna be. It's like, I'm gonna send you a form, you're gonna fill it out, and the rest I and my team will take care of it for you. Okay, so that's how I like to frame it. So from there, once we get that form, we create AI ads. And how did I write this? AI actor ads, and run on Facebook. Then from there, I would probably put like collect leads or leads opt in through custom built website. Okay, so we're also building them like a landing page. It's a landing page, it's not a website, but I'm using like terms where most business owners understand, so I'm just going to say website and probably clarify on the actual like Zoom call with them what exactly the website will look like and what's the intention of it and why we cannot use their website. From there, appointment setting. So we will have the AI callers, AI, I'm actually going to change it to AI agent, contacts leads within 5 minutes. AI agent. I kind of would need 4 because I want to say qualify. Contacts. AI agents. I'll just put it in 1. Qualify and sets appointment. And then AI agent reminds leads leads to show. It's not going to be show up. Reminds leads of the appointment. We'll keep it like this for now. I don't like this. Sales. From here, we kind of went over the facts. So again, I'm using this as like inspiration. So video ads, all AI, leveraging AI. Obviously, we're not going to tell them we're partner with a white label agency. From here, we have the agents. So whether it's by text or call. So again, I'm not going to go in details on the actual presentation. And like, I see too many people have these presentations where it's like super huge and there's a bunch of branches and stuff and it looks fancy, but it's just confusing. Especially when most of these people just join on their phone. It's like how you're supposed to share your screen. I know they're not supposed to be on their phones, but they will be on their phones. How you're supposed to share your screen and have like this crazy diagram that you're trying to show them. Like they're going to get lost into it. So that's why I try to keep it as simple as possible. Onboarding form again, and then here we're going to review their calls, transcribe it, and optimize it, okay? Collect recordings of your last 5 sales calls. Analyze calls through our trained AI agent. Here I would clarify that it's like we have data of like how you're supposed to like do these in-person appointments, mentioning pain points, overcoming objections, introducing yourself, giving them like a fair price. Like I don't know what's the normal norm, but just trying to gather as much data as we can to help them optimize this process and seeing where people have issues with, because obviously some of these contractors are not used to working with like Facebook leads, because the way you work a Facebook lead versus a referral is very different. A referral is an easy close, but the Facebook lead might say like, thank you very much for your time. We're going to contact 3 other companies just to compare prices. And if your client just says like, yeah, okay, and then he leaves, that's probably not how it should go. So we're going to see what are the main things that they're struggling with and see what can we do to help them with their sales process. Okay, so that's going to be quite important. Analyze calls to earn, provide scripts that increase closing rate. Okay. I forgot to capitalize the first letter of every word. I would do the same thing here. And yeah, just keep it as simple as that, to be honest. So obviously it's very simple, 3 parts. This would be, let's say my call is 1 hour long. This would probably be 5 to 10 minutes. And the rest would be just me having a conversation with them and really taking the time to understand their business, their pain points, and also understand like what have they tried before in the past? Why are they not in a position where they are making the money that they want to be making? Like, what is the main thing they believe that's holding them back from making that money? They'll say something. I'll say like, okay, why haven't you fixed it then? Like, what are the steps you have taken to go over this roadblock that you're facing? And they're like, well, we hired this agency and it didn't work. I'm like, why didn't it work? What do you mean by it didn't work? They were not getting us results. What do you mean by not results? They weren't converting, you were getting leads, and just go super in depth. And then whatever they tell me, I just hammer them with this presentation. Okay, so if they tell me like, yeah, they were getting me so many leads, half of the leads were unqualified, the other half I didn't even have time to call them, so I was wasting leads. Well, what do you think I'll focus on in this presentation? It's not going to be the AI actor ads. Okay, if the other normal ads were producing results, that's not what I'm going to be focusing on. So in that case, I'm going to be focusing on this part right here. So earlier, John, you mentioned that the other agency was providing you with a good amount of leads, but you were just too busy, like on job sites or with other clients, and you didn't have the time to just be on your phone 24/7 to call this lead. Is that right? Yes. Cool. So what we do to solve this issue, because you're not the only one, is that we have an agent that is basically trained to call the leads within 5 minutes. Now we can have them call within 5 seconds of them opting in, but obviously we want to make it seem like it's a bit more of like a human interaction. So we'll give it a small 5-minute delay. And also that will give them the time to just self-book and also preview some of the content that we will make on your custom brand new website. That's very good. And then let's say he mentioned, the other half of the leads, blah, blah, they wouldn't convert because they were low quality. What do you mean by low quality? They didn't want, in our case, they didn't want to replace, let's say, a full house of window. They were just looking to get one window replaced. And that's too low ticket for us. I'm like, okay, perfect. So what we're going to do to solve that issue is that in the actual ads, we're going to target people who do want multiple windows replaced, not just one. And also our agent, when they call them, they're going to make sure to double ask the question and say like, how many windows do you need replaced? And if the number is less than 5, then we're not going to book them in. Okay, so whatever pain point that they mentioned, you're going to like use this presentation and specify what they're saying. Okay, don't just read this word for word, because otherwise you just might as well not use this. There's no point of doing this. So yeah, that's how I would do it. And again, if they mention closing is a big issue, like, they would book me a bunch of in-person appointments. I would show up, but just these people were price shopping. Like I didn't know what to do to get them to buy on the spot. Then I focus on sales, on pillar 3. Okay. Very simple. It's not complicated. I absolutely love sales. That's probably my favorite part of this whole like funnel of me like just starting a business and working on a business. So I could probably yap about sales all day long. But yeah, that's basically it. Again, don't rely too much on a presentation. Make it nice, appealing. So we'll put nice colors. We'll put this like this, and yeah, this should be good to go. Agent contacts. To remind them of their appointment. It's slightly better. Could be better, but it's better than what we had before. And yeah, that's basically it. I would just frame it this way. Obviously, you just use this as like an overall like a roadmap of what can be expected in the next 90 days. All right. You don't go too much in details. You don't break down everything. As you can see, I'm not showing examples, pictures or whatever of like ads that we would run for them. If they were to ask me, like if I'm closing someone, let's say in this case, because I have all the resources open, if someone tells me like, okay, so you help agencies scale, like what type of ads would you run to help me find window installation companies? So I was like, yeah, so we're going to leverage AI actor and ads. It might be static ads. It might be actual like AI people that are recorded with voiceovers and everything. Obviously, we use data from what we've seen to be like working the best. I can actually share my screen and just show you a few examples. As you can see, this is what we've been running for one of our clients, and it's been absolutely crushing. So kind of a funny joke. We have a robot that's doing the job of our contractor, call out our audience, explain to them our offer, and then we let the calendar do the filtering when they answer the question, how much money they're making and everything. Here are a few other examples. Here we're taking a different approach where we talk about the amount of jobs that we can get them instead of a money-wise objective. So again, I would just share my screen and show exactly what I would do for them. So it's not rocket science. But yeah, that's basically it. As mentioned, it's not going to be complicated, but at this point, you have everything you need to have an agency. Okay? I think many people like to overcomplicate the whole process, spend months and months working out the details on things that at the end of the day won't be super important. For me, I'm a very big, and not many people agree with how I operate, which I understand. I'm a big, like, I'm not going to spend the time or months learning a specific skill, which I know in a extreme level of my business, I won't be doing. Okay, so for example, the AI agents, whether it's SMS or dialing the leads, if I'm making 100K with this agency, am I going to be the one that's still going to be building those out? Most likely the answer is no. Okay, so I like to position myself as if I'm already making that money, and it's like I would have someone do it for me. I need to optimize everything and just be as efficient and just do the highest like ROI activity, which in my case, for me at least, it's sales. Like I don't mind taking the sales calls for a very long time and closing the deals because I know I can crush it. And it's still like a very high dollar per hour that you're going to be making. I mean, if you're selling this for 10K, and you take 6 calls in a day, like most likely you should be able to close at least one deal if they're all qualified. So you can make crazy amount of money, and that can be outsourced at the very end. At least for me, that's how I do it. Okay, I know not everyone does it, but yeah. As mentioned, you have everything that you need. Okay, so I'll just quick recap. So in terms of actually running the business, like we have the sales calendar, so people that can book a call. We have a form that's going to be used to qualify our leads and get more information. So I like to do my qualifying on the form. So I like to just open up the doors, let everyone book a call with me or fill out the form, and then have the form do the filtering for me instead of in the ad in itself. I mention like you have to be making this much money, otherwise you don't book a call with me. Again, personal preference is what worked very well for me. From there, we have a sequence. So for those that fill out the form but don't book a call, we're going to retarget them with automated messages, as well as we're going to manually get in contact with them. From there, we have the thank you page. So everything that's required for them to view and look over once they book a call with us to make sure that they show up. We have the ads, so we know how to target our audience. And then once they show up on a call, we have the sales presentation done that's going to be used to close those deals. Okay, and then once you close the deal, we have the service delivery mapped out, so we know who we're going to hire, how we're going to structure sort of our system to make sure that our clients are getting the best results as they can, while like us being able to remove ourselves from the process and just focus on acquisition instead of fulfillment. Okay, so hope this was useful. This was a fun little series that I did. I had lots of people from our community inside of my group message me saying like they really enjoyed this, and it was a cool perspective to just see me like redo the whole thing. As usual, if ever you have any questions for me, feel free to leave a comment. I'll get back to you. And otherwise, let's crush it. Let's build a bunch of AI agencies now, and we'll see each other in the next video. Peace, everyone.